It is a monster matchup, Jim Beglin.
Well, on the face of it, Peter, we would appear to have a high-caliber meeting with very little at stake. But then you consider a chance for one or two of the fringe players to get a look in, and this becomes a big incentive. It changes the dynamic. So there's plenty at stake for them, which will do no harm to the energy levels and the overall conviction, and hopefully the style of contest.
So it's down to business here. Jim, who do you pick out as the telling individual today?
Well, Anthony Elanga is a player who's learning the game for me, Peter. He produces moments of magic, but he also produces mistakes, which is often associated with a player so young. He left Sweden at an extremely young age. I think he was 12 when he moved to Manchester, but he's progressed through the age groups and he's making his mark now at the top level. He just needs consistency to be added.
Well, quite no argument from me on that one. And it's played forward. Nice physical challenge.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Elanga. Willock. Tonali, gently done. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. Ah, good steal, he just read it. Palmer. Chalobah. It's an inviting looking ball, that. Now it's Pedro Neto. And it's Cucurella. Now it's Fernandez. Moved on forwards. Chance here to counter. Gordon played out to the left flank. Willock. Out to the left it goes. And here's Barnes. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. João Pedro. Fofana. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Palmer, that's an imaginative pass. Dealt with nicely by the defence. And it's Fernandez. It's a mighty effort! It's anyone's ball now. Cleared without complication. Can he finish? That was superb goalkeeping.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
Played out to the right. Cucurella. Palmer. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. That's really well manoeuvred. Barnes with the cross. And he thumps it clear. Corner then. Fofana attempts a clearance. That's been won straight back. James. Chalobah. Fofana. Cucurella. Palmer forwards and with intent. He's in a good position. Goes for a shot! And a terrific save from the keeper.
Palmer really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
keeper's dealt with that. Gordon. And here's the chance to counter. Gordon looking to get on the end of this. That'll be a throw. Chance to shoot! Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Now it's Palmer. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Barnes. Barnes shifted upfield. Caicedo. Palmer. Fernandez. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Fernandez. Now it's Pedro. He's having a shot! He's done very well to get to that.
João Pedro actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Has another go! Clears it away. What a throw in. Oh, lovely feed. He is such a good mover. There are a few waiting for it. Defending of the desperate variety. Great defending, strong and determined. It's been a pretty frantic start, a lot of front foot pressing. And it's James. Good ball, good take. Alanga. Trippier, aim forwards. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
He made it look a bit predictable.
Palmer shapes to shoot! They've played it short. And it's Cucurella, aimed in towards the centre. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Fofana, spread out to the left. Caicedo. Anything, Jim, to pick out of these early exchanges?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up. They've certainly set out to cause a problem or two down that left flank. Look, it's the width that's providing this momentum, and they look set to further exploit. Gives the defence a decision to make, whether to go zonal or man-to-man now.
James. And it's played forward. Trippier shifted upfield. He is offering some sort of an apology there.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
João Pedro. Now it's Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto, probing pass. Could be danger here. He's shifting through the gears here.
That's good defending, very good defending.
Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Chalobah. Cucurella, gently done. Fernandez. Tonali, that's a good intervention. That was what he had to make in the face of danger that was growing. Oh, can he get onto this? Now that's well seen too. Caicedo. If you have just joined us, well, you've missed no goals.
That will annoy the manager. They're making themselves too predictable here.
Xiao. Byrne played up towards the front line. Fofana forwards and with intent. Clipped into space. And he shoots! It's a goal! First blood drawn.
It's just sloppy to lose the ball like that, Peter. The ease which they were able to cut through them from there, that definitely doesn't have a good look about it.
So the first goal of the game.
Well, I think the next 5 to 10 minutes will call for real focus as the opposition will inevitably react.
Cucurella. Chalobah. Now it's Gordon.
Oh, that's brilliantly defended, though. It looked destined for a goal.
João Pedro. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. 1-0 the score. Trippier moved on forwards. And that's really well manoeuvred. Caicedo. Moved on forwards. João Pedro. Too much pressure, and he's lost the ball. Byrne. And it's played forward. Played back to the goalkeeper. Trippier. Xiao. Byrne. Byrne forwards and with intent. Lobbed in behind. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Fofana. And he goes cross-field. Barnes. Xiao shifted upfield. Pedro Neto. Now it's João Pedro.
João Pedro really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
Fofana. Fernandez. Aim forwards. Well, for a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Xiao, gently done. Now it's João Pedro. It's Caicedo. Ball swung in. Thiaw with the clearance. Fernandez. Palmer. Oh, the ball's come loose here.
Oh, once he made the save, it didn't take the keeper long to start barking at his defence.
Thiaw has played it long. Chalobah gets over and intercepts. Caicedo. Now it's João Pedro. Willock does really well to win the ball there. Hall aim forwards. Pedro Neto. João Pedro. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. James. Chalobah. Pedro Neto looks to get on the end of this. Very nicely done. And it's Cucurella. And here's Neto. Pedro Neto takes aim and crosses. Gordon. Looking to break at pace. Oh, well measured. Oh, he's managed to get himself offside. Moved on forwards. Trippier. Alanga. Trippier. That's not going far. Deftly away. And it's Willock. Tonali. And again, they run up against stubborn defending. Looks as though there's been a call to arms here for those 6-foot plenties to head towards the penalty area.
Yeah, they've got plenty targets awaiting, so they'll be looking to get on the end of anything that gets played into the box.
And it's played forward. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off.
Gordon really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Pedro Neto. Delicate ball, and it needs to be. And they've got rid. Gordon! Gordon! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
And it's hoisted clear. Through it. Trippier. Fofana. Cucurella. And here's Neto. Lovely bit of skill. Played into the middle. And that was asking just too much of him. Forwards and with intent. That's really well manoeuvred. Nicely intercepted. And he's certainly caught him there. It's a free kick. Tonali shifted upfield. Willock knocks it out wide. Pedro Neto getting this one clear. Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one.
Love a trier, Peter, but the wiser choice would have been ball into box.
Fofana. Chalobah looks to the other side. He is through here. Cucurella. And here's Neto. Fernandez. And it's Cucurella. And here's Neto. Thiaw with the clearance. João Pedro. Palmer. I think that's offside. Yes, it is. Hoisted upfield by the keeper. Fofana cuts out the pass. Over to the left. And it's Willock. Fernandez laid out to the left flank. João Pedro. Palmer. Pedro Neto. Great work on the overlap. Up he goes! Well, that is clearly not the outcome he wanted.
Well, you see what a difference it makes to have so many runners into the box. Makes life so much harder for that defence.
Fofana. And it's played forward. Palmer. Played towards the other side. Fofana. Pedro Neto is onto it in a flash. And it's Palmer. Palmer spread out to the left. Ball is there, and he can get that clear. Coming up to half-time, leading, and things are looking pretty good. And there's his chance to lead the counter. Trippier. Thiaw goes forward. Caicedo. Fernandez. Vicious ball here. Thiaw with the clearance. Palmer looking understandably energised after his goal. Palmer! And for a moment, time stood still.
Well, it wasn't the best pass, was it? The apologetic look says it all, really. He knows he could have got his team in real trouble then.
Lovely passing, lovely movement as well. Chippier crosses. Chalobah clears it away. João Pedro. Fernandez. Now it's João Pedro. He's gone for goal!
Yeah, that's a decent try when you consider the range.
Byrne. Tonali. Elanga. Tonali. Barnes wins the duel this time. Palmer. João Pedro. Out to the left it goes. Pedro Neto. Showing good feet. Time to deliver. Ah, such a clever touch. There's the shot!
Oh, that is rather wayward.
Well, he certainly reacted quicker than anyone else, Peter. He just couldn't keep his composure in the end.
Can he deliver? Barnes takes a shot! Fofana gets it away. Out to the right. Elanga picks it up out wide. And the keeper gets his hands on it. Caicedo, who's set up one goal so far. Fofana forwards and with intent. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
And here's Gordon. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Now it's João Pedro. That's a nicely weighted pass. Now it's Pedro Neto, and it's Caicedo. Played into space. He's in, there's the shot! It's a loose ball. Byrne trying to keep this in. Pedro Neto, now it's Palmer. And he's there to get it away. That's really well manoeuvred. Nice interception, his positioning was spot on. Well, that's beautifully weighted. Barnes is sporting a guilty look after that.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Tonali, aim forwards. James. João Pedro. Willock. Hall gently done. Chalobah. Cucurella. João Pedro. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. And it's Cucurella. And the first 45 minutes are up. Well, there were plenty of talking points in that first half, but just the one goal. It's still anybody's game here. So your views on the first half?
Well, I'm a little bit worried for them and the way they've looked in transitions, Peter. They've been a bit exposed, so they might be only one down, but they can't afford to have any more sloppy moments. Concede another, and we know it's an awful long way back.
Leading 1-0 at the break. And the action is back on the way.
Well, it's been tight, Peter, but I'm expecting things to open up now and we get some free-flowing football.
James. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Lovely ball and a real chance! Well, there is some activity down on the touchline. It seems there's going to be a change. Pedro Neto, who's short, and that's aimed into the middle.
Well, that might be the first time they've gone long, Peter. They've clearly been told to try something different.
It's an exciting looking ball, that. He's offering some sort of an apology there.
Well, the pass wasn't good enough, and he knows it.
Caicedo. Cucurella. Did well to step in there. That was more than necessary. Caicedo. Now it's Schwab shoots! It's a carbon copy of the previous miss.
Well, the breakthrough hasn't come yet, Peter, but you do feel they're upping the ante here. They'll get the reward if they can stick at this.
Pedro Neto with the short one. Cucurella crosses. Moved on forwards. And the counter is on. Elanga. Trippier. Well, that's really good play on the right. He's driving forward. And it's Trippier. Elanga. Oh, he's dealt with that well. Pedro Neto. Fofana. Great defending, strong and determined. Fernandez, gently done. Chance! Oh, that was nice, but not quite the end product required.
Oh, it was such a clever pass that plummets the defence, and it could well be revisited, this.
Caicedo's cross. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. That'll be a throw-in. Willock getting this one clear. He's had a shot! It's off target and by quite a way.
Well, it was going to take something a bit special from there, and that wasn't it.
And it's Hall. Hall, there's the delivery. And that has been cleared. He's going to be disappointed with that. Willock. Hall. Fernandez. Cucurella. Fofana. Fofana forwards and with intent. Caicedo. Caicedo played out towards the right wing. James. That's tidy. Played into the box. Header comes in! No, couldn't quite control it.
That's good play. Plenty of targets in the penalty area and plenty of movement too.
Time and again they are repelled.
Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. He's in plenty of space here. He's found a way through. Elanga. That has been knocked clear. Pedro Neto. Palmer looking to shake off some unwanted attention.
Yeah, they're certainly getting much tighter to him now. At least the message was received.
Pedro Neto played with finesse. And that is out of play. Palmer. And a chance! He scores! And there's the goal they've been looking for. And that really is so impressive.
Oh, that's wonderful to see. The run was explosive, the finish exquisite.
So that's 2 now without reply.
We're looking at a very different game now. The command has been established.
And it's Hall. That's very neat. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Palmer.
Well, they've stamped some authority on things, but how much more authority can be generated?
James. Caicedo. James. So what can they make of this? Now it's Barnes. Barnes. And it's Hall. Lovely feet. Willock. Tries to dink it through. Steered out wide, but he won't reach that one. Elanga. Willock. Hall charging forward down that flank. Willock. Tonali. Whistle's gone, that's foul. He's gone direct. Oh, special! That is a special goal! Sumptuous finish, an absolute joy! Just one in it now. The game takes on a whole new complexion. A true beauty of a goal, so brilliantly executed. This is threatening to become a really good game.
Oh, we have a very different game on our hands now, all of a sudden. This one's totally up for grabs.
Chalobah.
That's really good energy being shown by some of those forwards out there, keeping that defence honest.
Yeah, can see that.
They need to persist. It's exactly what they have to keep doing.
There will be a throw-in. Nice control. James. Pedro Neto. Palmer. Oh, that's a clever-looking ball. James. And he's cut it out. And it's played forward. That's a little off target. And it's Palmer. That's been drilled forward. Fofana makes the interception. Chalobah. Fofana. Oh, good spread. Oh, can he get onto this? Well, Jim, it is abundantly clear that the tone of this game has changed markedly within the last few moments.
Well, it has, because the deficit has now been halved, Peter, and because of that, it seems to have developed into some sort of shock for them, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they can take it on from here.
Thiaw, early ball out from the back. Cucurella. Tries a measured ball. Thiaw gets it away. Byrne can get it clear. Fernandez. Now this could be a chance. Out to the right. Oh, what a play! He has done it! It is a good finish. The odds were against him. Little matter.
Well, he had to deal with an awful lot of unwanted attention, but his tenacity won the day.
So the lead now is 2.
Well, this is nothing less than they deserve, Peter. They're in the driving seat now.
Elanga. Succumbs to the pressure. That's really well manoeuvred. Chalobah. James. Chalobah shifted upfield. Fernandez. Cucurella. João Pedro. Fernandez. Over to the left. Trippier clears it away. Pedro Neto with the delivery. Byrne getting this one clear. And it's Fernandez. Caicedo. Decent chance! Yes! And they are pulling clear here. That is glorious, as if he picked it up and put it there himself.
And you can see he meant every bit of that, Peter, and had his head up as he went to hit it. He knew his landscape.
It's starting to look like a done deal now.
Well, it's been an absolutely fabulous spell for them, and they're starting to look unstoppable. There could be more on the way.
Byrne, aim forwards. Fofana. Fofana, gently done. That pass has been well intercepted. Moved on forwards. James. Chalobah. And it's played forward. Pedro Neto. Fernandez. Could move up a gear here. James. Now it's João Pedro. Willock gets it clear. And it's James. Palmer. Does really well to win the ball there. Tonali has given away a free kick. That was very necessary. Chalobah. Driven forward. Trippier gets it away. It's a throw-in. Tonali. João Pedro. Xiao. Quality ball. He's onto it in a flash. Trippier. Willock. Nice interception, well timed. Pedro Neto. Closing in on the last quarter of an hour. Fofana forwards and with intent. Oh, sweet feet. It's a good run down the right. Chance for a shot! Elanga. Now looking to orchestrate a counter. Tonali. Trippier, shifted upfield. Great defending, strong and determined. Fernandez with the challenge, and he has given away a free kick. James. Caicedo. Fofana. Fofana laid out to the left flank. Muscular approach does pay off here. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Well, that had the makings of something quite promising, but it's fizzled out into nothing. James. That's really well manoeuvred. Now it's João Pedro. Pedro Neto. Looking for a decent ball in. Oh, that's well done, really robust. The movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Chalobah cuts it out. João Pedro. Pedro Neto. Now it's Fernandez. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Cucurella head over towards the opposite flank. Played back in. Xiao aimed forwards. And now the breakaway. And it's Willock. Willock. Spread out to the left. That has been knocked clear. Sanchez sends that a long way. Xiao shifted upfield. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto. João Pedro. Cucurella. It's a good run down the left-hand side. Cucurella puts them all in. Forward tracking back like that, always appreciated by the crowd.
Yeah, listen, we often get critical of a forward's tackle, but that was squeaky clean.
And here's Willock. Shot a goal! And for sure, that was not one of his best.
That was really good pressure. They did enough to put him off in the end.
Fofana. Fernandez. Chalobah. And it's played forward. Xiao, gently done. Chalobah. Fofana. Chalobah. Caicedo. It's a promising run he's making on the right. Tries a deft little ball. Pedro Neto. Try! Moved on forwards, and he cuts out the supply. Fofana. James. João Pedro. Out to the left it goes. That's good play. Fires it in low. Elanga. Trippier. 5 minutes left on the clock. Barnes. Now he's off and running. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. James. Fernandez, forwards and with intent. Tonali. Xiao. Elanga. Trippier. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. Palmer with a definite foul there. Caicedo did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Xiao. Burn. Oh, this looks sharp. Well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Cucurella. He's shifting through the gears here. He is just caressing the ball. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. It's gone for a throw-in. Oh, that's nice. Trippier. Now it's Murphy. could have here their final chance. Not pretty, but it gets the job done. Chalobah. James. Caicedo. Fernandez. Fofana, aim forwards. Pedro Neto. João Pedro, over to the left. Made into space out wide. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto with the delivery. And they can counter here. Jacob Murphy. Now it's Barnes. That is lovely. Fernandez gets it away. Tonali. Sports official showing that there will be 3 minutes of added time. João Pedro. He has found the way through. And it's James. Paul gently done. And that is a little undercooked. James. And here's Palmer. Palmer. And it's played forward. Do have a chance to counter here. Now it's Barnes. It's run loose here. Moved on forwards. Palmer. James. Paul. And that's a foul. Free kick's been given. And he has shown him a yellow card.
Well, Peter, when you're up against a speedster, you've got to get to him early and not let him get into his stride, and they're just not doing that.
Climbs up big! Got the hard part right, but the rest wrong. And it's Hall. Oh, nice touch. Plenty waiting in the middle. Willock. And the finish! And that may well be that. That is that. Oh, this is a side which is purring, picture perfect, a win they will relish, having pulverised what was put in front of them. It was a pulsating performance. Your final thoughts, Jim?
Well, I think the manager can take a great deal of satisfaction with this win. It was a solid game plan that worked pretty much as he envisaged, and the players executed it to